Let's begin in a seated position, coming to sit with your legs crossed in front of you, hands resting on your knees, palms facing up or down. And begin to notice your breath. It's important to take time for yourself, to focus inward, to look inside, to take some time out of your day to stop worrying, to stop thinking about what comes next, but to just be and be with yourself. And with that in mind, we'll bring our hands in prayer to the center of our chest and set an intention for this practice. Maybe something to do with taking time for yourself. Seal that intention in. And then let's inhale the arms up overhead, reaching long. And exhale the right arm down. Left arm stretches overhead for a side stretch. Rooting the left hip down. Reaching through the left fingertips and rotating the chest upwards. And then on an inhale, come back up, reaching long. And exhale, dropping the left arm down. Right arm reaches long overhead. Rooting down through the right hip. And reaching through the right fingertips, rotating the chest upwards. Inhale back through center. And exhale, twist to the right. Taking a gentle twist, the right hand comes behind you. Not forcing anything here, and taking nice deep breaths. And then inhale back through center, reaching the arms long once more. And exhaling, twist to the left. Finding length in the spine on your inhales, and twisting a little bit deeper on your exhales. And then inhale back through center and bring your hands to rest on your knees again. Seated cat-cow. Inhaling to open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chin. And exhale to round the spine, drop the head. Inhale, open the chest, lift the chin, squeeze those shoulder blades. And exhale, round the spine, drop the head. Keep moving like this at your own breath. And after your next exhale, come and find a neutral spine. And take a deep breath in. And then exhale into tabletop, placing your hands directly under your shoulders, your knees directly under your hips, engaging the abs. And let's find a calf stretch. Extend the right leg back, keeping the toes on the ground until it's straight. And maybe leaning into that right foot. Maybe holding that lean or maybe rocking back and forth. Giving the calf just a nice, very gentle stretch. And then return back to tabletop, placing the knee back underneath your hip. And bring the left leg back, placing the left toes on the ground, straightening the leg, and then leaning into the foot. Maybe shifting the weight back and forth. Again, gently opening up the calves. And then return to tabletop, bringing that knee back underneath your hip. Take a breath in. And then exhale into puppy pose. Walking your arms out long in front, dropping your chest down towards the mat, resting the forehead or the chin on the ground, squeezing the shoulder blades together and keeping your hips up in the air. Really breathing into this stretch and enjoying the feeling going through the shoulders. And on an inhale, rise back up into tabletop. And then exhale, downward facing dog, planting the hands, lifting the hips up and back. Taking time in this first down dog to pedal out the feet, wag the hips side to side, shifting the weight one way and another. But squeezing the shoulder blades together and reaching through the arms, through the hands, keeping the shoulders in their sockets still all the while, finding all the length in the side body, reaching the hips up to the sky, and letting the heels sink down towards the ground. Inhale to bend the knees and gaze forward, and exhale to walk to the top of your mat, forward fold. Take time in this forward fold, bending the knees as generously as you'd like, letting the neck and head hang loose, maybe nodding the head yes, and shaking the head no. Maybe coming into ragdoll, grabbing your opposite arm to opposite elbow. And enjoying the stretch through the hamstrings. And then release your arms back down to the ground. And on your inhale, halfway lift, spine reaches long and gazes down. And then exhale, step back into downward facing dog, planting the hands, reaching up through the hips and sinking down through the heels. Inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. And exhale, low lunge, stepping the right foot forward between the hands. Take a moment to aim the hips towards square, pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward. And then drop that back knee down to the ground. Inhale to lift the right arm up to the sky. Easy twist. Breathing in this twist for a moment here. And then exhale into corkscrew, bending the left knee and reaching back with your right hand to grab the foot. Pulling the foot closer to you for a deeper quad stretch, or kicking the foot away from you to feel it more in your hips. And then exhale and release the foot back down to the ground, returning to your low lunge, both hands framing the front foot. Inhale to lift the back knee, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale the left leg up and back, and then exhale low lunge, stepping the left foot between the hands. Taking a moment to square the hips, pulling the left hip back and the right hip forward. And then drop the back knee down to the ground. Inhale to open up to the left, reaching the left arm up, finding an easy twist. Reaching through those fingertips. And then exhale into corkscrew, bending the right knee and reaching back with the left hand to grab the foot. Again, pulling the foot closer to you to find a deeper quad stretch, or kicking into the foot to find more of a hip stretch. Then releasing the foot back down to the ground, returning to your low lunge, hands frame the front foot. Inhale to lift the knee, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, and exhale, step the right leg in between your hands, low lunge. Take time to square the hips, and then drop the back knee down to the ground. This time we'll find lizard pose. So scoot your right foot out towards the edge of your mat to find some space, and place your right hand on the inside of that leg. Inhale to open up the chest, lifting up, gazes forward. And then maybe on your exhale, walking down and coming down to your forearms. Come down to your forearms if you can keep your chest opening at the same time. We're not rounding through the back here, but keeping it nice and open. Breathing into space in that hip. And aiming to keep that knee pulling closer into your body. But maybe you experiment and see what happens. See what it feels like if you let the knee sink outwards a little bit. And inhale, coming back up to your hands if you were on your forearms. Lift the back knee up. Scoot that right foot more towards the middle of your mat, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale the left leg up and back, and then exhale, low lunge, stepping the left foot forward between your hands. Taking time to square the hips, and then drop the back knee down to the ground. Find lizard pose on this side. Scooting your left foot out to the outer edge of your mat, bringing your left hand to the inside. And then inhaling to open up the chest, and exhale, maybe come down to your forearms. Again, aiming to keep the chest open here if you're on your forearms. Taking care to notice that you're still breathing here in this pose. And focusing on breathing that breath into your hip. And on your next inhale, coming back up to your hands if you were on your forearms. Walking your left foot back in, lifting up the back knee, and then exhaling back into downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in here, and then exhaling into child's pose, dropping the knees, placing the head, the forehead on the ground, reaching your arms out long in front of you. And finding what's comfortable here. If you prefer your knees be closer together or wider apart. If you like your hands reaching long, or maybe resting by your sides. But wherever you're at, taking nice deep inhales and nice slow exhales. Take a breath in and exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, and exhale into pigeon, bringing your right knee towards your right wrist. Maybe tucking the back toes or maybe placing them flat on the ground. Inhaling to open up the chest and then exhaling to fold forward. Walking your hands out long in front of you, or maybe resting your forehead on your hands, or maybe staying on your forearms, if that's as far as you can go today. And always the option to not fold at all, and you can stay lifted. Wherever you're at, continue to breathe and keep your weight over the center of your hips, not falling to either side. Inhale to walk your hands back towards you, lifting up your chest. And then exhale into downward facing dog, lifting those hips up and back, squeezing those shoulder blades. Inhale the left leg up and back, three-legged dog. And then exhale into pigeon pose on the left side, bringing the left knee towards the left wrist. Again, maybe tucking the back toes or lying them flat. Inhaling to open up the chest, finding length in the spine, and then exhaling and folding over your front leg. Noticing if this side is any different than the other. Just noticing, not judging. And taking nice deep breaths here as you relax a little bit deeper into the pose. And as you inhale, walking your hands back towards you, lifting up the chest, and exhale into downward facing dog. Taking one final big inhale in this down dog, and then exhale, drop the knees, coming to sit on our shins. Maybe moving a little bit more towards the middle of your mat. And your option to stay here, kneeling on your shins, or find hero pose, coming to sit in between your shins, moving your hips, making enough room to sit between your hips. And then again, option to stay here, or begin to lay backwards, coming maybe to rest on your forearms, or laying all the way down on your back. Inhaling and slowly with control, making your way back up if you were laying down. And then swing your legs out in front of you for Dandasana. Keeping them out long, maybe moving the flesh away from your sits bones to find a better seat. And then inhaling to lift the arms up overhead, lengthening the spine. And exhaling to fold over the front legs. hands coming to your thighs or your shins or the bottoms of your feet. Inhaling to find a little bit more length and exhaling to fold a little bit deeper. Flexing through the bottoms of your feet and continuing to breathe. Inhaling to walk your hands back towards you, lifting up your chest. And then exhale and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. When you get there, bend your knees so that the soles of your feet, are flat on the ground. And we'll come to find reclined cow face. Beginning with your right leg, cross the right leg at the knee over the left leg at the knee. Bringing those legs further into your chest, and then reach with both hands to grab the nearest shin, or maybe the ankles, wherever you're reaching, and then pull your legs towards you, keeping your neck and head relaxed. Feeling the stretch in your hip. And exhale to release the pose, uncrossing the legs, returning the feet back down to the ground. And we'll find reclined cow face on the other side, crossing your left leg at the knee over the right leg at the knee, bringing those legs in towards your chest, and reaching to grab your shins with your hands, pulling those legs towards you, and relaxing into your hip, relaxing into the ground. On your next exhale, uncross the legs, coming out of the pose, returning the feet to the ground. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale it all out. Inhale the knees into the chest, and then exhale, drop the knees over to the left for a supine twist. Right arm reaches out long, gazes over your right fingertips. And on your inhale, bring the knees back towards the center, and exhale, dropping them over to the right, extending the left arm out long. Gaze over the left fingertips. Closing your eyes if you get comfortable, and finding rest in this pose. And then inhale, bringing the knees back towards center. And exhale for Shavasana, extending your legs out long, letting everything lie flat on the mat. Taking up as much space with your arms and your legs as you'd like. And letting every muscle relax. Unfurrow your brow. Letting the lips part. Unclenching the jaw. Letting the shoulders soften. And the shoulder blades lie flat on the ground. Let the chest relax. The belly relax. Unclench the glutes. Let the knees fall open. Let the toes fall to the sides. As you let go of your breath and rest. And taking a nice deep breath in and letting it all out. Beginning to come back into the space around you. Bringing gentle movements into your fingers and toes. And then rolling over onto one side. And then pushing yourself up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed all the way if that's comfortable. Here and seated, bringing our hands to the center of our chest in prayer, bowing our head towards our hands. repeating that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Thank yourself for making time today just for you. Know that it's important and that you're worth it. Thank you for joining me in practice today. Namaste.